Hi, everybody. I'm here with Nadine O'Regan, and we're going to be talking about recruiter enablement. So, Nadine, thank you for joining me. It's good to see you, and give us a quick introduction to you.
Cool. All right. Well, I am the general manager at TQSolutions here in Australia. Like most people, when I got into recruitment, it was by accident. I studied criminology. Some people say that's similar, maybe not. And I had just finished my my postgraduate degree, went to a recruitment agency and was offered a job with them. So fell into it like everyone does. Started an agency in perm recruitment, ended in agency in temp recruitment, and this was so long ago, I am almost embarrassed to say it was back when we used to wait for resumes to come off a fax machine on a Monday and, you know, all of that sort of stuff.
Same. Yeah.
Showing our age and our grey hairs. I spent some time in agency in London, and when I came back to Australia, I joined an RPO, and that was really the first of its kind in Australia. It was back in the real early days of RPO. And I was in a retail bank with an RPO provider. From there, I went in-house. So I went and joined Citibank, Citigroup as head of resourcing for their TA function. And again, that was then pretty new at the time too. So, you know, companies were thinking, oh, we can do this ourselves. I was there when the GFC hit, which was not the most fun time, and then went and had a baby, which was really good timing. Came back, went into investment banking in internal, eventually went and implemented an RPO for them, and then went into HR, was pregnant again by this point and wondering what to do. And that's when I stumbled across Gareth Flynn at TQSolutions. I was a client, and yeah, just our worlds collided, I guess, and I've been there ever since. So I've been there almost a decade, so about 9 years now. Done all sorts of roles there. We specialise in talent transformation, talent augmentation, talent engagement, mobility, all of those sorts of things. So here we are.
Yes, great. Okay, so you've got a 360-degree view of what recruiter enablement might be, I think, from seeing it from every angle. So
Yep.
What is it to you? What's your definition of recruiter enablement? You might call it something different, but yeah.
Yeah, look, recruiter enablement is, to me, anything that allows talent acquisition professionals to be more effective in their roles. To me, though, the real sign of success is overall success of the business and profitability of the business. So, you know, when I look at enablers, I'm looking at what's their, you know, bottom line impact on profitability for the business, and how do they help the business achieve their strategic objectives. So that can be everything from ATS, CRM, lead generation tools, collaboration tools, standardized workflows, recruitment marketing materials, hyper-personalised nurture campaigns, anything and everything, as long as it's helping us do our jobs better and make the business more successful.
Right. You may be the first person out of 90 or so people that I've talked to about this subject. You may be the first person who has said that we need to link it to overall business objectives and like profitability, if that's the objective. How do people react when you say that to them? Because I'm not sure everybody in talent acquisition necessarily knows how to think about it at that level.
Yeah, and I think that is why TA sometimes gets a bit of a bad rap. So we have never been great with data. We've never been great with measuring ROI. We've never been great at finding a way to translate what we do into how it assists the business. So I think we need to get better at all of those things. You know, the people analytics space is getting more and more momentum, which is great. But we really need to just get better at all of those things to be able to really demonstrate how much value we add to the business. And we know that we add lots of value to the business, but no one else necessarily does.
Okay. So is that an overall HR issue? Has HR been good at using these ways of demonstrating their value, and TA has been kind of kept down underneath HR? Or is HR actually not so great at that either?
I don't think HR is great at it, full stop, but TA is definitely further down the level of maturity. So at TQ, what we have done, so we have a maturity model assessment that our clients go, well, anyone can do it actually, it's open sourced and it's free. They can go through and benchmark their TA function and their business on all of these categories. This is our second iteration of it, and the reason we changed it was because we felt that it really was focused too much on the enablers, version 1. So what we see with clients of ours is that the companies or TA functions are pretty good at implementing things that are easier to manage and implement. And they're things like, some of those lower level enablers, like people, policies, process, tech, if they've got the budget, that is. So what, let's call them the tangible enablers. But what we see companies really struggle with is those intangible enablers, things like organisational mindset. So you can have all the enablers in the world, but if the appetite is not there for the business to make it a success, it won't be. We call it kind of the handbrake of transformation. So, and I know you've got some other questions, so I might be jumping ahead, but the business has to own TA. The business, hiring managers should be responsible for hiring decisions and so on and so forth. So unless your business leadership have got that talent mindset, it doesn't actually make anyone's job that much easier. So the enablers is one thing, but the less tangible enablers, I guess, is where people struggle, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, answer this question in terms of either the tangible or intangible. But like when a company's thinking about it, about recruiter enablement, what are the 2 or 3 most important things they need to consider when they are executing on this?
Well, I would say firstly experience. So put process efficiency and cost realization to one side, and instead look to invest your time and energy in those experience-led activities at the front end and the back end of your process. So things like hyper-personalisation of your recruitment marketing, real-time EVPs for business critical job families, onboarding, internal recruitment, those sorts of things. Secondly, I would probably say mobility. So look at why your people are leaving. The most common reason people leave, we know, is because they think that it's easier to find a job outside the company than in. So, there's a win right there. Stem the flow and, break down those silos between HR and TA and OD and talent management and all of those other HR teams, and really laser focus on retention and mobility. And I think probably you said 2 to 3, right?
As many as you like, yes.
Let's go 3. And the third thing I would say is don't assume that tech will fix everything. I know that in TA there is a perception that tech enablement is the big lever to pull, and it is, but it's not a silver bullet. So there's still a really long way to go when it comes to tech and TA, and tech is really good at solving a specific pain point, but you need to know what your problem statement is before thinking about the tech solution for that. So, you know, if scheduling interviews is your pain point, putting in an AI sourcing tool is not going to help you, right? So really take the time to analyze where you think your pain points are and, you know, point solutions in the tech stack to solve for that. So that's what I'd say. Those are the three.
Gosh, you've just given, in like a very short space of time, you've thrown in so many different thinking points. And the most challenging thing for me from here is going to be trying to summarize in about like 50 words all the things that you've just said succinctly. So that's my problem. But look,
that's what you got GPT for, Adam.
well, possibly I might have to. I've not done it yet for these interviews, but I might have to do it this time. Anyway, Nadine, thank you so much for taking the time to join me. It's been really fascinating hearing from you, and it's been great to talk.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam.